The recent scandal and the subsequent lawsuit between Wendy Williams and her husband Kevin Hunter have blown up the internet. As far as we know, the key reason for this was Kevin's affair with another woman, from whom he already has a child. What do you think about this? Hello everyone, you are on the CELEB Live channel. Let's figure out together what really happened. Wendy Williams, a talk show host known for her inimitable audacity and uniqueness, continues to hold the interest of her fans. So, it was no accident that her autobiography, released in 2003, dedicated to her life, childhood problems, drug addiction, and marriages, debuted in 9th place on the New York Times bestseller list. So now, Wendy is fighting with her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, who openly extorts money from her using the judicial system. Recall that she was married to her husband, Kevin Hunter, for 23 years. Wendy preferred to hush up rumors and conversations about her husband's long-term infidelities, constantly defended her marriage. However, the divorce did not take long to wait when Wendy found out about his infidelity, that is, about a 10-year relationship and the joint child of Kevin and Sherri Hudson, the ex-husband of the Masseur. In April 2019, Wendy filed for divorce. She says, "I don't recommend you to work with your husband because I made him my manager. And then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. I made him divorced and unemployed in one day." Kevin Hunter was not satisfied with this state of affairs, and he is suing the production company of his talk show Denmark, Mercury, for the alleged illegal dismissal from the position of executive producer. In his appeals, Kevin admits that his material well-being leaves much to be desired, and he may become homeless. He has neither a job nor, accordingly, income. Medical insurance is not available for him. Debts to the Homeowners Association are growing. Despite the public humiliation that Williams faced after Hunter's affair on the side and their subsequent divorce, her generosity towards her ex-husband is admired. Before discussing the financial aspects of the divorce, Wendy paid the ruin, $250,000 in order for him to find a new home. In addition, Williams agreed to keep a life insurance policy for $1 million, which will remain to Hunter if she quits the game before him. Hunter also retained ownership of his car and businesses. Basically, Wendy was quite generous to her unfaithful ex and was always loyal to him. Returning to the personality of Wendy, we note that a bright, talented woman along with a rich natural potential, also found a place for addictions and diseases. The talk show host has always been open about her medical ailments, including the fight against Graves' autoimmune disease and lymphedema. In her show, 2018, she answered worried fans like this: "Stop asking me why I wear sneakers. I have lymphedema. Stop asking me why my eyes are bulging. I have Graves' disease. Stop asking me stupid question. Can we connect to a more reasonable level?" In addition to medical illnesses, the queen of television suffered from drug addiction. Wendy Williams openly, on the air, reported her drug addiction after the confession burst into tears. Before the confession on the air, only the closest ones knew about the problem, the husband and son. Previously, the TV presenter participated in charity events to help drug addicts. During the period when she was in rehabilitation, in order to recover from addictions and recover, she was supported by her brother and numerous fans. It's such a relief to see that a person who has entertained us for years is actually getting the support she needs. We are all rooting for her to finally recover. Kevin Hunter, on the contrary, wanted to take advantage of her helplessness to his advantage. In his posts, Kevin was genuinely elated by what was happening and continues to demand payment. According to Hunter, the alimony payment suddenly stopped in February, and then Wendy told about the lawsuit on social networks, in which she said that her money had not been refunded from Wells Fargo. LaShawn Thomas, the lawyer hired by Wendy Williams to help fight her Wells Fargo bank, is speaking out. According to Radar, Thomas recently accused a judge and a bank of conspiring to remove her from the case because she couldn't be bought. In March, Williams took to social media to talk about her situation with the money Wells Fargo refused to give her. In previous reports, Williams demanded that Wells Fargo unfreeze millions in her accounts because the bank considered her an incompetent person who needed custody to interfere in her affairs, Page 6 reports. The 57-year-old talk show host has filed an affidavit with the New York Supreme Court for a temporary injunction against Wells Fargo. Her former Wells Fargo financial advisor, Lori Schiller, was fired over alleged misconduct related to her accounts and claims Williams was out of her mind. After Williams made the dispute public, the judge closed the case, which is still ongoing. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Thomas was not allowed to work on the court case due to a conflict of interest. Thomas tells Radar a different story. "There has never been a conflict of interest. The judge and Wells Fargo didn't want me involved in this case because I couldn't be bought. I would never stand by and watch my client being used. That's why they did everything to get me out of the game, including threats to report me to the Florida Bar Association if I communicate with my client." Later, at the conclusion of the trial, she was placed in financial custody earlier this year after her bank suspected that she was suffering from financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence. Therefore, her accounts were frozen in March. Kevin did not want to let go of the opportunities of a rich wife, so he appealed to the court with a request that even if his wife was not healthy, her guardian had to pay the amount required under the contract as specified in the severance agreement. In addition to the fact that Kelvin is at risk of becoming homeless, He does not have health insurance without alimony payments, and he really needs hip surgery. Wendy's lawyer refused Kevin. On October 15, 2021, the plaintiff was informed that her contract was suspended and that no compensation was provided during the period of disability. In the divorce settlement documents, she received the following information. If for any reason Wendy's contract with Talk UW is not renewed or otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated, and any new Wendy's does not pay her an equivalent salary, Kevin understands and agrees that the entire weekend payments may be suspected of either termination or change, Wendy's lawyer added, referring to the agreement on the settlement of the divorce of the former couple. Kevin claims he was unfairly fired from the show, as he claims the only reason for this termination was his divorce. His hysteria about getting a fortune has not gone away and has become noticed by the public. Many people on the internet tend to defend Wendy, saying something like, "It's outrageous for a man to kick a woman who is certainly already depressed. Obviously, Wendy Williams has health problems, and she is struggling with them. If Kevin Hunter can't even afford to pay for where he lives, he needs to look for a better, more affordable place to live. Or it looks like he needs to shorten the life he can afford instead of forcing the court to give what he doesn't even deserve." This is all the information we have at the moment. How do you think the story will develop?